Hi, so in a previous video what we basically did was took a wash solution and vibrated, cleaned all these nuts and bolts, and they came up so well it made me think, wow, we've got to do something else to get everything else clean because it's cleaned so quickly. Now the only thing I actually did was really trivial. I took a sander, put some double-sided tape and stuck a bit of Tupperware on top, and it worked really well. I mean, in half an hour that cleaned it. But go big or go home, eh? We've got here a floor sander. It's basically a Tomcat, and it's just the same as that, just massive. Big motor, big plate, and it's going to be the basis of our vibration cleaner. Now obviously what we want to do really is build a frame on this, so I've got a couple of cross sections of steel, drilled some holes in them, and they'll go on there, and there, and we'll make a U-frame out of that to hold all that together. So that's the plan, because what we're going to do is we're going to stick all this chunky stuff in there and see if we can vibrate clean that. Now I used zirconium cooking beads because that's what I had. And I've gone out and I've bought some gravel. It's 10mm gravel meant for mixing into concrete, so it's a range of sizes. We're going to use the gravel, we're going to build a frame for this, and then we're going to vibrate clean those massive things using the Wonder solution. Now just to remind you, the Wonder solution is 400ml of vinegar, which is 5% acetic acid, 2 tablespoons of salt, 20ml of ordinary washing up liquid, and 100ml of isopropanol alcohol. So we're going to make enough of that up, put it in the bath that we're going to stick on here, which is just going to be a large Tupperware obviously, fill it full of gravel, chuck our things in there and see what happens. Anyway, first thing, let's make this frame. And I've cut these two sections obviously, and they will handily bolt onto here. Get them on, measure up, cut out. Okay, I'm telling you, since I got to grips with this welding malarkey, it's just awesome, hey? The things you can make, it opens up a whole new world of possibility. So clearly what I'm doing here is making the bottom of the vibrating table. So that's the cradle welded up. Now obviously the motor just slots into that cradle, and then we're ready to put a plug on it and give it a go. Okay, that may have gone over the top. I think it's an awesome piece of kit actually now. So that's it with the motor in place, and this top plate here is the one that vibrates. Now this was a floor sander, so this motor is meant to last for hours running, so it shouldn't have any problems with that. Now we put a container on the top plate, but really, I mean, sometimes you want to do large bits, sometimes you want to do small bits, so I don't want to fix a permanent container, because then you've got this big container that you kind of feel you've always got to fill. So we're looking at something like that, maybe a little one, maybe 2 little ones, so that we can do small parts, or maybe you want to do a really large part, then something like that. So that would sit on there to do large parts. So that's the idea, is to be able to swap over the boxes. Now I'm not 100% sure yet how to fix this. I'm thinking bungee cords or something like that. But the next thing to do really is to give it a switch. Now we're actually just experimenting with this. So ideally, of course, you'd have an on-off switch where, you know, push for on, push for off, or maybe a rotary switch, or maybe a speed controller. This works as well as I think it's going to work, then I'll update it later with those kind of things. Straightforward, we're just going to put a fused switch on it. There's a 230 volts and it's going to run off a UK supply, no worries at all. We've got a nice fused switch. So I'll put a socket in there, I'll put a plug in there, a flex, and feed the motor into this. And all I'm going to do is screw that onto there. Okay, and that's it wired up. I mean, it's dead simple. It's just an on-off switch right there, and it's a flip switch, a fused flip switch. So if I flip that, okay, that's awesome. Okay, so tomorrow we're going to get some gear in some of those boxes, give it a run and see how well it cleans. I'm expecting it to clean quite well, okay, that's why I put so much effort into this. But that will be our mega industrial cleaner for cleaning steel parts. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you very much for watching.